Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm using natural lighting coming in from the window for this video, so it might be a bit, it might just be a bit shiny. But today, we're going to go over my second favourite album of all time, Wish You Were Here by Pink Floyd. And, I am so excited to film this video. Thanks for all the love on the last video of the Oasis one. I forgot to give it a special name, which I'll go and do once this one's posted. But anyway, let's get into the backstory. So this album has a really interesting backstory. So this album follows up their most successful, I think still to this day, Pink Floyd's biggest album is Dark Side of the Moon. When people think of Pink Floyd, they think of that album. It's the most popular t-shirt of all time. No, but that album, pardon me, I've been drinking Red Bull. That album was Pink Floyd's biggest release. It skyrocketed them into the mainstream. Pink Floyd were massive they were the biggest psychedelic band at the time, and they were very instrumental, is that the word? They were one of the biggest bands to bring psychedelic music into the foreground. So it was a huge release. But the problem was they weren't sure how they were going to follow it up. And I forget what it's called because I'm a klutz. But they were going to do some sort of homegrown album with using different sounds around the house. And that was ultimately scrapped, obviously. And they started work on this album. Now, this album is primarily written for their original lead frontman, Syd Barrett, who would unfortunately... Syd Barrett, it's believed he suffered with schizophrenia, which is an absolutely horrendous condition. And I have friends who deal with it, and it is horrible to see. So Syd Barrett was their original founding frontman of Pink Floyd, and he would only work on their first album and one song on their second album. And Syd Barrett did, I forget what the drug is called, but it's 10 times stronger than LSD. So you can imagine, he was just off his nuts. Not because of the mental health, but he was just on so many different drugs, and he threw his life away. But then in the 1960s and 70s, we didn't really understand mental health and drug abuse. It wasn't that well known. And Syd Barrett hated being famous. So eventually, he just didn't want to be in the band anymore. So they started work on this album with Shine On You Crazy Diamond, which was written about Syd Barrett. And it's all about how, he wasn't... he sees things differently. And he just needs to shine on, keep going. And then, of course, the album also features Wish You Were Here, my second favourite song of all time. Now, Syd Barrett would actually visit the studio. I'll put the picture up of him. I'll put 2 pictures up of him, and you'll see the difference. And it's shocking. You'll see what happened, what mad drug abuse can do to someone. Then they're only a few years apart. It's only 4 years, and it's crazy. But Syd Barrett would visit them at Abbey Road. I think it was Abbey Road. And when he got into the studio, nobody knew who he was. He looked so different that none of the bandmates had any idea who he was. And Richard Wright was quoted as saying, who's this weird man standing in our studio? Who let him in? And then eventually it clicked that was Syd Barrett. And I'm not sure how the story goes. I read that Syd Barrett didn't really say much and then left. He was probably not too happy because brain damage from the last album, Dark Side of the Moon, was written about him as well, where they did call him a lunatic. So, you can understand. But that would really hit Roger Waters hard and lead him to write my second favourite song, Wish You Were Here. The lighting is and it's just a beautiful story. It's a sad story, but it's such a beautiful music that would come out of it. So let's talk about, let's show you the record. So there's obviously a lot more to the backstory than I just described, but I'm trying to keep this video shorter. Yesterday's one ended up being 30 minutes, which, I mean, it is my favourite album of all time, but I do want to keep this a bit shorter than that one. But this is one of the most iconic and amazing album covers of all time. Again, it's supposed to resemble Schizophrenia. So you got the normal dude, and then the same bloke again, but he's on fire. And if you don't, I try and explain it to you, but it's a very complex mental disorder, and I don't deal with it. So, it's not for me to talk about. But, essentially, for a lot of people, they hear voices, and there's someone in their head, but it's not them. And this whole idea, and sometimes people can have a split personality, but I think that's a different disorder again, which can just be horrible. So that's what it's supposed to resemble. And I love the way that it sort of burns out there. So it's not just like the plain picture on a white background. It sort of comes off. And then it's just so iconic, just the picture with the white background. Now this is, again, I've had this record for about 2 years, so there's a bit of dirt on it. And I love this back picture as well. Again, with the coffee stain or something there. And then the sleeve is just absolutely beautiful. Absolutely stunning, and that artwork is just amazing. Can I get you out? This is so it does come with a this reminds me, it comes with a black bag that has that sort of spaceship hand logo on it. Now unfortunately my black bag broke because I'm an idiot. A lot of my albums are over 2 years old, and when I first got them I was a klutz. And I didn't really think about taking care of them. Now I do. Any albums I buy now are all protected and loved, but back then I was a klutz and I broke a lot of them. So it does come with this black bag, which is really cool. If I remember, I'll put a picture up of it. But anyway, let's talk about the songs, because that's the best bit. Talking about the songs, I'm not ashamed to admit, last night, I hadn't listened to this album in a few months, so I wanted to stick it on because it is my second favourite. So I turned the lights off, record on the record player, and I cried. I'm not ashamed to admit, it made me cry. I was bawling my eyes out. It's a very emotional album for me. The guitar work. So the album, so the album starts with "Shine On You Crazy Diamond" parts 1 to 5, and it also ends with parts 6 to 9, I think it is. It'll tell you. It should tell me. Yeah, part 6 to 9. And that song, it's Pink Floyd's longest song, with 26 minutes long. And it's easily the most beautiful song ever created. If you can call it, I would call it more psychedelic rock, but if you want to call it prog rock, I would then say it's the best prog rock song of all time. It's the best psychedelic song of all time. And that guitar riff, I wish I could play it. I've got a video clip of it playing last night. I wish I could play it for you, but I can't. So here's my beautiful rendition. Do-do-do-do. It sounds so atmospheric, and then you've got this amazing guitar, but then that guitar sort of fades out, and then this atmospheric just comes in, and then those 4 chords. Do-do-do-do. It emotionally impacts, it hits me, it really does hit me, and I was tearing up last night. It's so beautiful. It gets me every time. It's just so, it sounds like you're in space, and you're also, it's just so amazing. And the lyrics, nobody knows where you are, how near or how far, shine on you crazy diamond. Pile on many more layers and I'll be joining you there. Shine on, you crazy diamond. And we'll bask in the shadow of yesterday's triumph and sail on the steel breeze. Come on, you boy child, you winner and loser. Come on, you miner for truth and delusion, and shine. That's part 6 to 9. That's the closing track. But it starts with, where at? Remember when you were young, you shone like the sun. Shine on, you crazy diamond. Now there's a look in your eyes, like black holes in the sky. Shine on, you crazy diamond. You were caught in the crossfire of childhood and stardom, blown on the steel breeze. Come on, you target for faraway laughter. Come on, you stranger, you legend, you mortar and shine. You reached for the secret too soon. You cried for the moon, threatened by shadows at night and exposed in the light. Well, you wore out your random precision, rode on the still breeze. Come on, you raver, you seer of visions. Come on, you painter, you piper, you prisoner, and shine. That is one of the greatest lyrics, like one of the best written songs ever. Beautiful lyrics. But the song is just so, it's an orchestral masterpiece. Absolutely stunning from start to finish. I like to listen to parts 1 to 5, and then I'll have Wish You Were Here in the middle, and then have parts 6 to 9. Just because sometimes it's just nice and beautiful. Anyway, so then parts 1 to 5 sort of morph and shift into Welcome to the Machine. Now that has the best synthesizers ever. If you take into account every album that's ever come out after this album, Welcome to the Machine by Pink Floyd still has the best synthesizers ever, hands down. I love, there's just like a basic acoustic guitar in the backing track at the back, but then these synthesizers just take over, and it sounds like someone's going in and clocking into work, and at the end of the song they sort of clock out. And I love the lyrics about how welcome my son, welcome to the machine. Where have you been? It's alright, we know where you've been. You've been in the pipeline, filling in time, provided with toys and scouting for boys. So it's all about how it's all about how you're just working for the machine. You're just a cog in the machine, working for the man. You mean nothing. We know everything about you, and we're going to use you for our own gains. It's absolutely stunning, and it's so true. It's even true today. This was 1975, and it still rings true, and it's absolutely brilliant. One of the great songs of all time, and it ends with a laughing track, which was popular at the time. If you had a really emotional and heavy song like that, you would often put a laughing track at the end. Look at Within You or Without You by the Beatles. And then side 2, we have a cigar. Come in here, dear boy, have a cigar, you're gonna go far. No, my singing is terrible, but Have a Cigar is absolutely brilliant. The guitar work is amazing, and the guy who sung the vocals, which I hope it says on here, Roy Harper. Roy Harper would sing vocals on Have a Cigar as Sorry everyone, I had to cut there. Noisy people. So Roy Harper handles the vocals on Have a Cigar because both Roger Waters and David Gilmour didn't think their vocals were good enough. But now today, Roy Harper and Roger Waters regret this decision because this would become, one of the greatest albums of all time. And Roger Waters didn't sing vocals on one of the songs. And then that goes into my second favourite song of all time. I will show you my tattoos at every opportunity I get because I love them. I Wish You Were Here is the most beautiful song ever written. If Live Forever, Live Forever, that builds me up. That is a very emotional, you can do this, keep fighting song. Wish You Were Here is all about missing someone. And in my mind, as well as Live Forever, it has the most beautiful lyrics ever. Now I'm going to read them to you. I'm not missing them. So you think you can tell heaven from hell, blue skies from pain? Can you tell a green field from a cold steel rail, a smile from a veil? Do you think you can tell? How I wish you were here. We're just two lost souls swimming in a fishbowl, year after year, running over the same ground. And what have we found? The same old fears. I wish you were here. Just stunning, absolutely beautiful lyrics. I can't even brain how good the lyrics are. And overall, the whole album is just a cinematic masterpiece, or an orchestral masterpiece. It's very spacious, very open. You can really hear synthesizers coming in at you from all angles, you know. They really made use of the stereo, because stereo was still quite new in 1975. And it's just stunning, you know. As I said, it made me tear up. I haven't teared up over music in quite a while, but pardon me. Yeah, but that one just had me going. I was bawling my eyes out, and it is a very emotional album. Especially, obviously, "Wish You Were Here." I love, 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 love. But then "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," the lyrics, I can really relate to it. As I mean, I don't like to call myself crazy, but as someone who deals with mental health on the daily, it can be really helpful to hear it, you know, just shine on, just keep going. But anyway, in conclusion, I mean, it's probably no surprise to anyone, but this album's a 10 out of 10 with flying colours. This is like the highest honour I can give an album. Just amazing. I don't know. Obviously, the next few albums I'm going to film videos on, from Oasis, Definitely Maybe is my first, you know, my favourite album. This is second, and then I'm going to go up the list to number 10. And all these albums being in the top 10 are obviously 10 out of 10, if that makes sense. So I don't know whether I'm making it redundant every time I say, you know, this is obviously a 10 out of 10. But anyway, just an amazing album from start to finish. So beautiful and so spacious and dreamy, and the synthesizers just blow me away every time. Absolutely astonishing. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Take care, everyone. Oh, I forgot. By the way, which one's pink?